Foolery's Adventure Park is located at the Kalahari Resort in Round Rock, Texas. This is adjacent to the attached indoor water park, which is the main calling card of this location. But what can one find at this family entertainment center? And what does one need to know before visiting? Find out in this review. The Kalahari Resort first opened at Foolery's Adventure Park in the Wisconsin Dells in 2008 to complement the water park at that resort. When they built a new complex in Round Rock, Texas in 2020, they went with a similar model of having both the water park and the family entertainment center. With lots of arcade games, this area is screaming to young kids to encourage them to spend additional money by begging their parents to play the arcade games while walking from the hotel to the included water park. I did not stay at the resort on my visit, as it was easiest for me just to stop in for the coasters and attractions and head back home. Rooms at the resort also are not the cheapest, being about $300 a night, but do include the attached water park for all guests staying in a room. So they are a much better deal for a family of four. Foolerys is not supposed to be included, but many guests had blue-colored wristbands that wore good at Foolerys for the duration of their stay on property, which, per the website, includes noon on your arrival day and the entirety of your checkout day. This is better than my experience at the Vin Pearl Resort in Phu Quoc, Vietnam, that did not include Vin Wonders on the final day of my stay. The website says that you can add Foolerys to the entirety of your stay for an additional discounted fee. Why this option is not communicated better to potential guests, I'm not really sure, as this park would be a great thing to do for a few rides in the morning when it opens or at the end of the day on a week-long vacation. But with Kalahari being a high-priced family resort, you likely are not going to game the system to get a great deal anyways. Currently, off-season deals list Foolerys as being added to stays, though I have not seen this before. Stays booked more than 30 days in advance are also receiving a 25% discount, so an off-season weekday are as low as $240, including the $75 in taxes and resort fees for a single night. So, still really expensive unless you have a family with kids. But if you go, staying on property, though, allows guests to walk down the concourse to the park, and I imagine it is a very nice, though pricey place to stay with a family for a week's vacation. I also did not try the water park on my visit, as it is $45 to $85 just for a day ticket, with the price being higher in the summer months when I visited. This just seemed expensive for what it was, and I wanted to focus on the rides here and at Austin's Park to get these coaster credits instead of worrying about the water park at the Kalahari Resort. For non-resort guests, you can easily purchase individual rides on the two coasters, Screamin Centipede for $10 and $5 for Star Force Orbiter, if you just want a quick stop for coaster credits. As I prefer to get a good feel of the park, as well as multiple rides on coasters, I'd recommend purchasing an all-day wristband for $50. This does include both coasters. Star Force Orbiter has been vague in the past if it is included on the website, but adults are free to ride without restriction, and it is a wristband ride. If you like to get multiple rides on a coaster, including trying the rollover car, it likely will be worth it to go ahead and get the wristband, even if that is a bit more on the pricey side. Again, this is fairly common of a price for most family entertainment centers nowadays, especially across Texas. If you want to do the water park as well, combo passes are sold for as low as $85 in the off-season. Normally, these run closer to $105 or more, depending on how busy the resort is projected to be. If you are local, an address within 60 miles, you can take advantage of the local discounts they offer. Normally a $25 wristband on the evenings during the week, which makes this a very good price to stop by and visit while giving the park a bit more energy, as hopefully a few more guests are coming to take advantage of this discount. Even with the all-day wristband, there are still some activities like all of the arcade games, bowling, and escape rooms that are not included. A few reviews that I read online said this was confusing, especially for young kids to understand what was and was not included. But really, this seemed relatively easy for me, especially as most of the upcharge attractions, besides the video games of course, are away from the rest of the included rides and attractions. If you have young kids, yes, this park is set up to try and upcharge you by buying more attractions or activities. But if you and your kids are experienced park goers, it should not be a big deal determining the included activities and having a great time just on those attractions. This park normally opens its rides at 10 a.m. in the summer. This seemed to be noon in the off-season from what I saw online, and they currently have G-Force 1 and the ropes course opening later at 3 p.m. during the week in the off-season. But the website should have a very accurate opening time whenever you check, as it was literally updated the week I went, since I went on the very first week of summer hours. As the arcade opens earlier, you can easily get to Tom Foolery's around 9:30, buy your wristband on site, though you can pre-purchase it online if you'd like, and then walk around and see the various rides testing. One advantage of arriving at opening in the summer is that lines should be short for the rollover car, what they call the hamster wheel, on Screamin Centipede, if you want to hit that up before it builds up any type of line. Unlike other hamster wheel cars, this one no longer inverts, so it likely shouldn't give you head-crushing forces as I've experienced on other inverting hamster wheels. Although operations in general were fairly good at Tom Foolery's, Screamin Centipede did have really slow dispatches for some reason, so waiting a few cycles for the rollover car is not the best use of your time. There should also be a dedicated operator at Star Force Orbiter if you arrive at opening, at least based on the operations that I witnessed over the summer, if you want to get a couple laps on that coaster quickly as well. Star Force Orbiter did go to a rotating operator later in the day as demand quieted down, and I imagine that it will have rotating operators if you visit during a quieter time as well. If you are pairing this park with Austin's Pizza, that is only about a 20-minute drive away. During my visit, the power kept going off at Tom Foolery's for some strange reason, so I had to leave since they closed the park for 30 minutes to reset everything before I was done riding everything. I went over to Austin Park for lunch and to get all those ride credits, and then came back to finish riding the rides that I missed. This was easy enough to do, and neither park gave me a problem with having 2 wristbands on my arm. As for the attractions, their kiddie coaster's actually really enjoyable with great laterals. Their FBF Visa spinning coaster looks great as a centerpiece ride and has decent laterals, making it better than most in that genre, but doesn't do a whole lot of extra or anything truly special for me. The ropes course, Tarantok Rise, is big and enjoyable, and you should be able to stay up on it for a while. With the way your cord is attached, it also shouldn't be too scary for those who are a little bit afraid of heights, though still scary at first, for sure. There's a small ropes course just for very young kids under this, as well as an okay mini golf course as well. Now, next door, the Cliffs of Full-Sanity offer a tall and unique style of rock climbing that is easy enough to be enjoyable, but novel enough with how the different walls are shaped. In the back corner of the park, they have an XD dog ride, which is common nowadays at FECs, but is enjoyable as a screen shooting motion simulator. The Cave of Mirrors was pretty simple and basic, but slightly interesting, I guess. Tom's Time Machine was a neat and enjoyable laser tag arena. G-Force 1 is off by itself closer to the parking lot entrance and offers solid hang time, though the cycle is very controlled, so you don't get a large amount of airtime. In the kiddie area beside Star Force Orbiter, you have Flynn's Power Fuge, which you can get spinning really fast if you want to, as well as Puppy Pulsar, which is simple but enjoyable for this type of ride. Lastly, Maximum Velocity is a fun family drop tower. Not only is its placement inside Screamin Centipede a great visual, but each drop offers a quasi-tummy tickle sensation, similar to other family drop towers, making this something that thrill seekers and families can enjoy together. Overall, how good is Tom Foolery's? This is a nice but simple collection of rides that work together to make a decent park. though the price is a bit high based on what you get as a guest. Being completely indoors, it does benefit from being out of the hot Texas sun, especially in the summertime. I rank this as about the 10th best park in Texas. It edges out smaller farm parks and family entertainment centers, but doesn't have a deep enough ride lineup to compete super well with parks with a nice collection of flat rides, like the Landry's parks around Houston. I place this right above Dewberry Farm, which offers a solid collection of attractions and seasonal events while having first-rate operations as a farm park. And I rank Foolery's right below the Kemah Boardwalk, which is helped by its signature coaster in Boardwalk Bullet, but also has an enjoyable collection of flat rides while being priced reasonably. Foolery's is nice for what it is, but it is not the most accessible park due to its high price. Do you have any tips for saving money at the Kalahari Resort? Does staying on property seem worth it? Let me know, and as always, Cup Kun Crap.